Today, we're diving into a story that really tests our whole idea of justice, you know? It's about resilience and the truly devastating power of a single lie. This is the incredible, true story of Ricky Jackson.
Just let those words sink in for a second. This isn't from some movie script. For the man at the heart of our story, life wasn't measured in birthdays, but in the number of iron doors that would not open for him. A life just unjustly taken, one locked door at a time.
And no, that is not an exaggeration. We're talking about a record-breaking failure of the justice system. Literally, the longest anyone in U.S. history has been locked away for a crime they absolutely did not commit.
So how on earth did this all begin? Well, it all started on what seemed like just another day in Cleveland back in 1975, a day that would spiral into a lifelong nightmare, all because of a single lie.
Okay, so let's go back. The year is 1975, Cleveland. A robbery at a local store goes horribly wrong, and a man is murdered. The police, well, they need a suspect, and they find one fast. Ricky Jackson, just an 18-year-old kid from the neighborhood. Now, you'd think for a murder case you'd have some serious evidence, right? Well, the case against Ricky Jackson was shocking. On one side, you have literally nothing. No weapon was ever found, no fingerprints, no physical evidence connecting him to the scene at all. And on the other side, the entire case was balanced on one single thing, the words of a 12-year-old boy. And that was it. That's all they had. I saw him. These few words from a kid named Eddie Vernon were enough. But here's the thing. He was a child who was being intensely pressured by police to tell a story. And based on that story alone, a whole murder case was built. So let's get this straight. Based on that one single shaky testimony from a kid with zero physical evidence to back it up, the court handed down its verdict. Ricky Jackson was sentenced to die. Now, Ricky's death sentence was eventually changed to life in prison. But what does life even mean in a situation like this? For him, it meant almost half a century of stolen time. 43 years. Just let that number sit there for a minute. That is longer than many of us have even been alive. 43 birthdays, 43 holidays, just season after season, all spent inside a concrete cell for something he didn't do. And the real cost wasn't just about time, was it? It was everything. His mother died while he was locked up. He lost his youth, the chance to go to school, to fall in love, to have a family, to build any kind of career. His entire life was just gone. And yet through all of that, he held on to the one thing he had, the truth. He would write these words to himself again and again. You know, in the face of just absolute despair, he refused to let his spirit be crushed. He knew he was innocent, and he believed that one day the world would know it too. Then, decades into his sentence, the whole foundation of the case against him finally started to crack. A conscience, heavy with a lie for years, just couldn't stay silent any longer. So decades just roll by. The boy, Eddie Vernon, is a grown man now, and he's haunted by the lie he told. In 2011, he takes that first huge step and confesses to a pastor. Then, by 2014, he's ready to do what he should have done all those years ago. Tell the truth, but this time under oath in a courtroom. Can you imagine the scene in that courtroom? The lie that had kept a man in a cage for a generation was finally taken back. Vernon admitted it all. He saw nothing. He confessed the police fed him the story. And as a scared 12-year-old boy, he just went along with it. With the only piece of evidence against him now completely gone, the system had no other choice. In November of 2014, after more than 15,000 days in prison, Ricky Jackson's conviction was overturned. He was officially declared an innocent man. I mean, can you even imagine that moment? After spending a lifetime in the dark, you're suddenly stepping out into a world that has completely changed, a world you were told you'd never see again as a free man. Those were some of his first words to the reporters waiting outside. Not anger, not bitterness, just the deep relief of a dream he held on to for over 40 years, finally coming true. He was tasting freedom for the first time since he was a teenager. Okay, now this is the part of the story that is, for me, maybe the most unbelievable. After everything you went through, how did Ricky Jackson react? I mean, what do you do with all that rage you have every right to feel?
He did get some financial compensation, of course, but when people asked him about it, this was his answer. He knew better than anyone that what was taken from him was absolutely priceless. No check could ever buy back a stolen life.
And here it is. This is the most extraordinary part. He chose to forgive. He refused to let anger and hate poison the life he finally got back. It's an act of grace it's almost impossible to wrap your head around, and it shows a kind of strength that was forged in the absolute worst of circumstances.
So at the end of the day, Ricky Jackson's story is a huge warning sign about how fragile our justice system can be. But it's so much more than that. It's really this profound testament to hope and to the incredible, unbreakable power of the human spirit. And that kind of leaves us with this one big question, right? This whole saga, a life completely destroyed and then somehow reclaimed, it all started with just a few words from one child. It really makes you wonder, how much weight should a single word ever carry when a person's life is hanging in the balance?